All right, ladies and gentlemen, this is PatMac Radio UK. And as you can know, as you can see, we are live. We had some slight technical difficulties, but we are live at the moment. If you are listening to us, this is PatMac Radio UK. My name is Patrick, and this is the live train. This evening, we are here, and then we are here to make a start. We are here to bring a change to our lives. As we have always been saying, we always come in here and then we bring a change to people's lives. We make sure that we bring the change that we need. We are here not just to live life and die and go. We are here to cause a change. We are here to bring a change. So if you are listening to me, you are listening to me on radio, that is PatMac Radio UK, or you are on Facebook, you're listening to me. My name is Patrick, and then this is PatMac Radio UK. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Patrick on PatMac Radio UK. This evening, we are talking to a renowned trainer. You know, those of you who were asking me about how we are going to bring the show and how you wanted to know more about the trading in this world, how things are going. Recently, we are hearing news, people are losing money, others are gaining money. You see, we are pushing to make more money. And then I made you a promise that I'll be bringing you this renowned trainer who will be talking to us about trading. We are going to have a lot. We're going to talk about a lot of things. We are really going to dive into trading this evening. If you want to see him, you can go on our Facebook, PatMac Radio UK Official. If you are listening to us, you should please share this program for someone to hear or to benefit from this show. I want to remind you that if you are in the United Kingdom, especially if you live in England, and then you want a job, you are looking for a job, or you are looking for a recruitment agency that can provide you with a job of your dreams, I want you to contact PatMac Staffing Limited. PatMac Staffing Limited, they are versed, they have the knowledge in looking for the best job. They have knowledge for looking for the job that will suit your need. If you are looking for a job and you need them to help you, to sort you out, you can call them on 01234 932 202 or email them, the customer team at patmacstaffingltd.co.uk. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the live train. And then we want to remind our listeners that PatMac Radio UK are looking for volunteer presenters to host various shows. If you call us, or if you contact us anyway, anyhow, we are going to have a talk, and then we would see the way forward for that. Email us on info@patmacradiouk.co.uk, and then we would continue from there. Ladies and gentlemen, I have on the show Mr. Leon Brown. Mr. Leon Brown, I don't want to be the one to introduce him. I don't want to be the one to speak about him, but I've known Mr. Leon Brown. I've read his book, and he is exceptional. Ladies and gentlemen, he is exceptional. If you are listening to me and you want to break through, if you are listening to me and you want to have the best when it comes to your trading life, he's the man you need to talk to. Mr. Brown,
Patrick,
good evening and welcome to the show.
Patrick, it's great to be on your show. How are you, my brother?
I'm good, thank you.
Thank you so much for the introduction. I feel you made me feel special. You made me feel
you
like
are special. You are special.
Thank you, brother. Thank you, man. Great to be a part of this show.
Yes. So, ladies and gentlemen, as I was saying, Mr. Leon Brown is a trading trainer, and he has trained a lot of people. I would give him the chance to introduce himself to you, give him the chance to tell you what he does. Mr. Brown, can you tell my listeners who is Mr.
I'd be really, really happy to. So, right now, what I do, Patrick, I spend my days in a combination of trading on my own personal account and teaching people how to do that. I mean, everybody right now has heard about the world of cryptocurrencies, or everybody has heard about foreign exchange, and many people
Mm,
want to know, well, how do I get my hands on that knowledge? How do I actually learn how to do that? So my job is to impart that knowledge to people who want to take this seriously, whether it is just as a side income alongside what they're already doing, or whether they
mm.
want to really consider the option of looking at this as a full-time business. My
Wow.
background is in banking and finance, so I spent 15 years working in the city.
Okay.
Yeah, so I spent quite a long time, 15 years working at two really large investment banks, and was blessed to have institutional exposure to foreign exchange trading. What I mean by institutional, I mean by the large investment banks who trade in a very, very specific way. And I was fortunate enough to have exposure to that, sitting on the trading desk of two of the biggest banks in the world. And then when I left some years ago, I started a clothing business. I started making beautiful suits and shirts for people to get married in, but it wasn't. Yeah,
Whoa.
it was lovely. It was a great business. People look great. They I've done many weddings, and help people to look stunning for their wedding day. But this was more of an entrepreneurial exercise. My passion and my heart always lied and lay in trading and making money online. And so right now, what I
Mm.
do, I sit here in this office that you can see me in. I check my
Your
screen.
lovely office. I like your
Well, thank you,
books.
brother. Yeah, man. There's some fantastic books. Oh, some fantastic content there,
Wow.
and just some privilege to spend my days trading and teaching people how to make money online, man. That's my world.
Wow. Wow. So, Mr. Brown, comparing your life now as an entrepreneur, as a trader, as a
But bro,
trainer,
before we go further, you can call me Leon, man. You're not gonna call me Mr. Brown for
yo,
the whole
Leon.
show, bro.
I love that. I love that. Thank you very much for that. So, Leon, comparing your life as a trader now, you know, um, to your life where you were working as a banking and finance personnel, how what is the difference? Are
you
you
know,
now relaxed? Are you now comfortable? Or
it's a,
what
it's
is
a
the
great
difference?
question. The freedom to do what I want to do and to be where I want to be is immense. Yeah, I can
Mm,
trade in a coffee shop. I can trade at the gym after I exercise. I can stay here at home. I can go to my parents' house or wherever. The great thing
oh,
about trading is that as long as there is an internet connection and God has blessed you with eyesight, then you can interpret the information that you see on the screen to your
I like
financial
that.
advantage. To your financial
I like
advantage.
that. God has blessed you with eyesight.
I'm telling you, count your blessings, all of them, my brother, every single one. And as long as we have eyesight and an internet connection, then we can spot the opportunities to make money. I would say
Mm,
though that living the life as a full-time trader is it's not easy. All right, it's not easy because there needs to be enough money to grow the account and also enough
yeah.
money to live on, and so it can be challenging. It can be challenging at times. And what I'd like to do is to dispel the myth that as a trader, you're flying around on private jets. I'm sure it will happen for me
Oh,
and
yeah.
you and other people at some point in our lives. But we focus very, very clearly on two things. We, as a trader, we focus on compounding our account. There's a word which is called compound interest. It's incredibly powerful,
Mhm.
and it means just growing a little bit, a little bit, a little bit at a time, and that growth, it over time it accelerates. It gets faster and faster and
Mm,
faster over time. I could go into speaking about compound interest, but this is one of the things we look at. And the other thing that's really important to us as traders is making sure that we have the correct reward for our risk. So I don't want to take a trade if I can only achieve, two times my money, right? Two times my risk. I don't even want to take a trade if I can only attract three times my risk. I'm looking for
mm.
trades that are going to reward me, 4 and 5 times before I execute. All right. So these two things are really key for us as traders that we want to have. We want to compound our account and grow slowly over time, and we want to take trades which are the correct reward for our risk.
Wow.
Did I go too deep already? Have I gone
You,
into?
you blown my mind. Like
Yeah.
I'm like, wow.
Yeah.
Okay, let's
Yeah.
let's bring it down. Let's bring it down. So to a lay person, yeah,
Yes.
what is trading? If the person hasn't done anything concerning trading. We've been hearing people trade. What is trading? How will you explain this to someone who has no idea
That's
what trading is?
such a brilliant question. Trading is essentially taking a decision to buy or sell something, um, and in our world for a reward, right? That's what we want. You know,
Yeah.
you can to taking it very simply, a car tradesman is going to buy a car at £1,000 in the hope of selling that at 1,500. All right, and the difference between the buy price and the sell price is his profit. Well, in
Mm,
trading, we do the same thing, but we do it electronically. And so we have the option to buy and achieve a profit if the price goes higher. But in a digital world, we can also choose to think that something is overpriced and sell it and take the profit if something falls lower. So we get the benefit of buying and the price going higher and selling and the price going lower. And we can make money on both sides of the trade. It's just buying and
wow.
selling. Really simply, trading is just buying and
Buying
selling.
and selling.
That's all it really is. Yeah, at its most simple.
So, you know, I was talking to one woman, I think some weeks ago, and
Yes.
then asking me, she was asking me how she can trade without getting into the hands of scammers.
Hmm.
What is the risk,
Yeah.
for um, a lay trader? And when I say a lay trader, I mean someone who doesn't have the expertise, the knowledge that you have. What is
Yeah.
the risk if the person is to go into trading? There are so many trading platforms nowadays, you see.
Yes. Yes.
So if the
Yes.
person should go and say, download, um, I don't want to mention any trade because I don't want to, so any trading platform, and then
Yes.
starts trading, what is the risk? In,
Okay. So there's a few risks around with trading at the moment, and it can be a little bit of a minefield. My number one rule, and I say this to everybody that I start teaching at the start, is that I
mm,
don't want to know how much money is in your trading account. That's nothing to do with
okay.
me, and I will never ask you for your trading capital. This is really, really important. Now, the money that you pay to learn shouldn't be more than a couple £100 per month. It really shouldn't be more than that. So if anybody's asking you to part with money that is more
Mm,
than a few £100 per month, then you've really got to look very, very carefully at that. And I would definitely say that nobody should be giving away money that they intend to trade with. You know, thousands of pounds given into the hands of somebody that they don't know. I would be very, very cautious about doing that. I've spoken to so many people, Patrick, who have, this guy called me on the phone. Am I interested in doing this? He said he's going to give me this reward. And there's a trick out there that a lot of these scammers use, is that
mm,
and be very, very mindful of this. They will take money from you if you give it to them. Please be careful on doing that. And
mm,
they'll show you a return. They'll say, "Hey, Patrick, your account is up by 10%. But in order to get it, you need to pay us an administration fee, right? That'll be one way. But you've got to be really, really careful of that. The other thing that they might say is, look, your account is up by 10%. You only put in 2,000. Imagine if that had been 10,000, Patrick. All right? So you just be really, really careful on the tricks that they use of getting you to put in a small amount, showing you a profit, and then saying, "Hey, look, if that had been a great amount, look how much more you would have made." It's a very, very classic trick, and I would avoid it like the plague, bro. The thing, all right. Let me say one more thing, right? The thing is
mm.
this, right? There's one way to avoid the danger of getting scammed, right? There's one way, and that is to learn it yourself,
Okay.
right?
That was going to be my next question.
Yeah, this is it's and scamming. I'm sorry to say this, but let me just speak it and say the truth like how it is. Um, Scammers are only successful with people who are in a rush to make money. Yeah, they're in a rush, and the rush causes people to make, oftentimes, not all the time, but the rush can cause people to make rash decisions. So just stay calm, go slowly, and I would say to your listeners, to work with somebody that they know and trust.
Work with somebody to know and trust. Ladies and gentlemen, this is PatMac Radio UK. My name is Patrick, and you are listening to Live Train, the program where we show you the way to do well in life, the way that people have actually tested and proved that when you use, you can really do well in life. I want to remind you that if you are living in England and you are looking for a job, you want an agency that is capable of sorting out your job needs, ladies and gentlemen. I want to recommend PatMac Staffing Limited for you. PatMac Staffing Limited. We would sort out your job need. If you are a client, if you're a company, and you are looking for employees, PatMac Staffing Company would sort you out. Link up with them. Customer team at patmacstaffing.co.uk, ladies and gentlemen, and then they would sort you out. So, as I was saying, ladies and gentlemen, we are with Leon Brown, Mr. Leon Brown. I love that, Mr. You know.
It's okay, Rob.
And we are talking about trading, ladies and gentlemen. We are talking about trading. If you have any questions, that you want to ask, you can hit me up, direct message, or on WhatsApp anytime during the show, and I would ask your question for you. The number is 0741 302 5596. 0741 302 5596. And then I will put your question through to the expert.
I like being called an expert. I like it.
Oh yeah, you are an expert. You know, reading your book, you know, I was like, wow, this is what we want. This is what we need to know. This is what we need to know. So, Mr. Brown, I mean, Leon, sorry.
It's cool. It's either one is cool. It's cool.
Yeah. So, how can I be a trader? What should I do in the digital world? How will I understand digital currency? How I work, you know, as an entrepreneur, I am busy, I'm going up and down. How can I be a trainer? A trader.
You know, it's such a good question that I get asked frequently. And with any with any not necessarily career change, but with any desire to improve yourself, there's a learning process. And this is the real key, is the people that I'm working with are all committed to the learning process. They know that it's not a quick route to making money in 6 weeks time. I'm going to be making, it could happen, but 6 weeks time I'm going to be making lots of money. No, what we're doing is we're training people to fish, right? I can give out trade signals to my team, and I do occasionally. I put out one on my Facebook page yesterday about Bitcoin. I can give out trade signals, every day if I wanted to. But the real key is teaching people how to actually fish for themselves. And that process takes a while. Maybe it takes 6 months. Maybe it takes 18 months, depending on how fast people learn. But at the end of that time, the beautiful thing is that you can look at a chart of the movement of the price, and you can say with a high probability, based on what I know and based on what I've learned, this should happen next. And I'm willing to pay the price to see if what I think is going to happen happens, right? And that's really what it is. It's about learning the skills, Patrick. And these skills, they're basic. They're not very difficult, but to perfect it just takes a little bit of time.
To perfect it takes a little bit of time. So, is there a way that you can say, when I'm coming into trade, I am guaranteed a win?
Good question. I don't like to look at it as guarantees, and I won't look at it as guarantees. But I do know that there are some trades that I take which are extremely high probability winners, and there are some which the probability is a little less, right? But based on an understanding of the movement of the markets, I know how the market moves, and so I can say, well, this trade in this situation at this time gives me a very high probability of success. As I was saying to you, it's been a great trading day today. you know, because I've been very, very disciplined. You know, you don't always get disciplined. Sometimes you want to be in a trade, sometimes you want to click buttons just for clicking buttons. But today I was very disciplined. I traded at the right time, was very, very patient. And the rewards are there for doing things the right way.
Wow. So from what you're saying, if I'm getting it right, yeah, then it means a week depends on the day, the type of trade, and then how you actually do it.
Yeah, it's definitely more than just clicking a button and guessing if the price is going to go higher or lower. It's definitely more than that. So sometimes I can wait weeks for the trade to get into the right position. I can wait weeks. Say it's not there yet. It's not there yet. It's not there yet. Okay, finally my trade is in the right position, and then I want to trade it not necessarily on any particular day, but I want to trade it at the right time of the day, and that gives me
Mm,
the highest probability of success.
wow. So, Leon, let's let's get it this way. Yeah, let's get it this way. I am a trader.
Hmm.
I am in to win,
Hmm.
but now I want to train myself
Yes.
to, and then I'm subscribing to you. How can you make me a pro?
Oh, bro, it's what I do. It's what I do. It's what I love. I've just come off back-to-back lessons with students straight into this into your radio show, and both the people that I was speaking to today, they're just excitement. They're filled with excitement because they can see that the knowledge that I'm sharing with them, you know,
Mm,
in the not too distant future, is going to make that it's going to make them money. The real thing is, are you willing to commit to something, to the learning process, for a period of time? That's the real question. Can you commit to this for a
mm,
minimum of 6 months? If you can commit to this for 6 months, I can make you a trader. I'm not saying you'll be
wow,
perfect. If you can commit to this for 6 months, um, and you know, ongoing training is best. But if you can commit to 6 months, at the end of 6 months, you'll know exactly what you're trying to do. Maybe
wow,
sooner. Maybe sooner. I'm
wow.
good.
I can see. I can see. Wow. So what is the digital world like? Yeah. So I don't know, but how is the digital world like? When we say we are trading digital currency,
Yes.
all some people can think of is say they are doing Bitcoin. Yay! How is the digital world
I mean, it's really, I don't know. I just managed to get my head around it. I feel very comfortable there.
like? Mm,
Um, you know, it's not much difference to looking at the price of something. Okay, look at this, right? Imagine the price of eggs as an
mm-hmm,
example. The price of eggs is fluctuating all the time. It's not like when you go into Sainsbury's or Tesco's or whatever supermarket you choose to shop at. There are more than one supermarket. You got to say these disclaimers right on the radio show. There are other supermarkets to choose from, right? But
yeah.
imagine that the price of eggs is fluctuating up and down every day. Well, you could take a viewpoint to say, well, I think the price of eggs right now is a little bit cheap. It's meant to go up a little bit. And you could say, well, I'll buy the price. I'll take a view on the price. You don't actually take delivery of the eggs. You just take a viewpoint on the movement of the price. I
Mm,
think the price is going to go up, and that's all you do. You don't get any delivery of eggs, right? You just take a viewpoint on the movement of the price. Well, in our digital world, if you see the price is a little bit higher, you can say, I'm going to take a view that the price should go lower. And so I click on, sell. I'm selling the price, not the product. And then if the price does drop, eventually you'll make money when you close the trade at a lower price. We just make money going up. We make money going down. We make money when it's going up. We make money when it's going down.
we make money when it's going up, we make money when it's going down. You see, ladies and gentlemen, if you wanna roll with the big boys, you must learn from the big boys, you know. And then
You want a
if you
bamba?
wanna
You
if you
want to
wanna
roll with the
bamba,
big boys?
yeah, yeah, you wanna run tiki 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 in it. You know. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you're listening to us, if you're watching us, this is the place you need to be. This is the place let you know that if you are on radio and you are having slight difficulties, we are doing our best to sort it out, and then we should be online any moment from now. Yes, we are at the moment. So, ladies and gentlemen, the live train, and we are talking trading. Ladies and gentlemen, we are talking trading. Mr. Leon Brown is a renowned trader, and he's well experienced. He trains traders, and we are talking to him this moment. If you have any questions, 0741302556, I would ask your question for you. If okay, okay. So Miss Udong, you said you are listening to us. You are listening to us from Luton. God bless you. Mr. Safas, you're also listening to us from Stevenage. God bless you. Mr. Salvatore, you are here. You are listening. God bless all of you. So I would go back to our conversation on how to be an effective trainer. So, Mr. Leon, you've written books, right?
You know what, brother? It was more of it was more of an ebook. So, it's not a big full length book. It's more of an ebook which I give away on my website for free, and it also allows people to um, get access to my web page, my Facebook community as well.
Mm. Let's talk about scammers. So, assuming you are trading and you fall in the hands of a scammer, is there any regulatory body that would say that, hey, look, you fall into the hands of a scammer, we are going to help you get your money back? Is,
Yeah,
is,
there is. You can call the financial ombudsman, and they offer free advice for helping you to get your money back. They won't do the work for you, but
okay.
they are there and they're available for you. The FSA, which is the Financial Standards Authority, I think that's the correct name for them. They also will offer advice on their advice is preventative, as in how not to get caught. But they'll
Mm,
also offer advice that if you do, this is what you can do to try to recover your money. It just becomes very, very difficult and long-winded. That once they've got hold of your money, they're usually gone. And so
yes.
the best way to do it is to be very, very prudent and to avoid handing over money to people, especially large sums of money. Do not hand large sums of money to people. Do not hand the responsibility of trading your money to somebody else, right? That unless they are FCA regulated, unless they have their authorization, like large fund management companies, then okay. But if they're unregulated, do not hand over your trading capital. This is
So it is
very
not advisable to use a broker.
no, this is different because the brokers will all be regulated. The brokers will be regulated, all right? But if there's no regulation, then just do not hand over the capital. For your education, well, yes, you need to pay for that. And there are
Mm,
educators like myself and many others who charge people an education fee. And so, yes, of course, but that's only going to be in the hundreds of pounds, and definitely will not
okay.
be. That definitely will not be in the thousands of pounds. So you limit your risk to the hundreds of pounds
Mm,
and not the thousands of pounds.
so it's advisable to always do the trading yourself.
Unless you are going to be putting your money with a FCA regulated company, then I think there are some investment schemes out there which you can try, but I would say really the best thing is for people to learn this skill. It's really something that people should have. I mean, we are all walking around now, Patrick, with incredibly powerful computers in our pocket. Yeah, the type of power that used to take up a room is now sitting in our pocket, and to I don't think many of us are taking advantage of that power in the right way. We use TikTok and Instagram and Facebook. We spend all of our time exercising our right or our left thumb to scroll,
Mm-hmm.
but not many of us are using that right or left thumb to put in a trade, to make an investment, to risk money, to put your money to work. Right? Put your money to work. This is what I say. Let's put our money to work with the intention that it should go out, find some friends, and come back to you. Right? That's what you do. You sow your money, it goes out, it finds some of its friends, and it comes back to you with more. And you have to put your money at risk for it to do that. You got to
put
people
your
have got to
money at risk.
learn this skill. Learning the skill is the right way forward.
So in your school, in your training sessions,
Yes.
um, don't give us all the facts, yeah, because this is what you do. But if I'm to join, what should I expect?
Okay. So I always start with a consultation. You know, it's a big word
Hmm.
for, you know, how much do you actually know,
Yeah.
right? It's a big word, but I want to know how much do you know already? What have been your experiences with trading? Have you tried and failed? Are you brand new? Are you trading right now but have problems trading? You know, problems with being profitable. I want to know where you are in your trading journey. And then
Hmm.
I set up a game plan for you, which is to say, okay, look, this is the direction of travel that we're going to go in. And I start giving usually one to one, but oftentimes I'll do group sessions as well, where I just teach people the basics to start with. What is a candlestick? What is the information that you find in a candlestick? What is a pip? Right? What is a
Hmm.
pip? You know, how do I actually execute a trade? Why does the market move in one direction and then turn back and go in another direction? We do all of these basics before showing people actually how to be very, very profitable by executing low risk and high reward trades.
Wow.
Did I sound? Am I sounding too complicated, bro? Is it? I mean, am I going? You know, I just
The
want. I want.
consultation alone.
I mean, the consultation. I just want to know how much you know, and then we'll set up a game plan for you based on what you know already and where you want to go. The reason why the consultation is quite important is because I also want to know your goals and what you want out of trading. You know, why do you
Hmm.
want it? Why do you want to do this? I'm speaking to a lot of people now who are approaching the stage of their life where they're coming to the end of their working career and they're wondering about
Hmm.
what's next. Maybe they have some years left on their mortgage. Maybe their pension is down the road, and they want an additional source of income alongside a job or you know something to replace their income. And so you know I'm working with a few people like that right now, and just happy to help people for whatever their goals are.
So, Leon, like I was saying, is it advisable to trade alongside my work, what I do?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely not. So imagine you're going to work, you're getting paid a salary of, you know, 3,000, 5,000, 8,000. I don't know how much people earn, right? But imagine
Mm.
you're, why not add, look, let me tell you the maths, all right?
Mhm.
You know that if you can make on average with your wins and your losses, if you can make on average £50 on a night, right? £50 a night. So some days you're going to win, some days you're going to lose. But if you can make on average £50 a night, you know this adds up to an additional £1,000 a month in your account in your
Yeah.
okay. So we're not talking like you know millions. Yeah, we hope we all gonna get to the millions one day, but we're simply talking about hey, look, maybe I can just make an extra £50 tonight or an extra £80 tonight. Oh my goodness, maybe I lost £30 this night. Well, the next night I made 70. If you can just average it out and do £50 a night, this is £1,000 extra in your account at the end of the month.
Interesting.
So why not? Yeah, let's find a way to do that while you work. Absolutely. Let's do that while
In
you
your
work.
ebook, in your ebook, you were talking about the type of people, the mavericks, the snipers, to be successful in this game. I call it a game. To be
Yes.
successful, what type should I be?
Aha, I love this. This is a great question. Okay. Um, so I don't want to give away all the secrets, Patrick, because I'd like
Mm.
for your listeners to download my ebook, right? And this is what will happen when they download the ebook, then they will get access to a document which shows the four trading personalities that are most likely to win at trading, two trading personalities that could,
Mm.
and one personality type that will definitely not win at trading. This
At all.
personality, they won't. This trading personality cannot win. All right, and I'm not going to say what it is because I want your listeners to download the ebook. All right, but
So where, where can we download it?
say that again.
Where,
Say that
where
again.
can we get the ebook?
Okay, so I will. Of course, I'm going to tell you about it. But you can download the ebook at my
Yeah.
website, which is lbfx.co.uk. L for Leon, B for Brown, lbfx.co.uk. with a forward slash win dash at dash trading. Right. So I'll say that again. It is lbfx.co.uk forward slash win dash at dash trading. And in that ebook, you know, I talk about seven personality types. I'm gonna give you one personality type that is very likely to win, and which you wouldn't that you wouldn't know. I'm not gonna give you my number one personality type, but I'm gonna give you one. It's the introvert, the person that's a little
Okay.
bit shy. Yeah,
Hmm.
the person that's a little bit shy, um, who often doubts their own ability. You know, sometimes they're gonna mark up a chart correctly, and then they're not gonna click trade on the chart, but the play is gonna work out exactly as they planned, right? Because introverts
Yeah.
are naturally cautious characters. They may and as traders they are cautious as well, right? And they're likely to believe that what somebody else says is more accurate than their own interpretation. All right. But I like
Hmm.
working with introverts. I like working with introverts, and a few simple kind of confidence boosting tricks is going to help them to come out of their introverted shell and become a more confident trader. So introverts stand a very, very high chance of success.
Wow. Ladies and gentlemen, if you are listening to us, you are getting a free education from the ebook of Leon Brown. He I've read a book, yeah, I've read an ebook, and when I read the ebook, I was like, wow, the information in it is is top notch, top notch.
Yeah. Thank you, brother.
Ladies
Thank
and
you.
gentlemen,
Thank you, brother.
if you want to be a successful trader, if you want to be a successful trader, trade or learn from the successful ones, learn from the knowledgeable ones, ladies and gentlemen. If you are listening to me, those listening to me from India, God richly bless you. My loyal listeners from India, God richly bless you. And all the people listening from Africa, I know when it comes to trading, I know that Africans, we are like, wow, we are always there.
Definitely.
So, Leon, if I want to become a trader, I want to join your class. What advice would you give me? What advice or motivation would you give me before I join?
Yeah, I'd love to speak to anybody who's really interested in really learning the skills of trading. And I say the skills of trading because there are multiple skills to learn. But I will
Hmm.
be more than willing to hold your hand through that process and to guide
Okay.
you through the learning. The real thing for me is that there must be a commitment to and a respect for the skill rather than just a hunt for money. Yeah,
Hmm.
the hunt for money in the long run often, I don't know, it doesn't yield sustainable fruit if it's just a hunt for money. You'll see some of this in the go and read the ebook. I mentioned this type of thing in the ebook. All right. So really, the type of people that I will be most successful with, and that I'll help to see the most success, is the individual who understands that this is a journey. They respect the skill and they want to have the knowledge, and that knowledge applied is gonna bring wealth. The knowledge applied will bring wealth.
Let me try to fish out something from you. This I know you don't want to say, but I will ask you anyway. Them trading platforms, are they good? And if yes, which ones are best?
Yeah, the real that's a very fair question. Um, as long as the trading platform is regulated, then
Mm,
by all means go ahead and take access. I used let me tell you the list of brokers that you could use. I mean, there's hundreds of them. You know, in the UK, we've got ones like IG Markets, very, very popular. We've got
mm,
FX Pro. We've got eToro. We've got CMC Markets. You know, I use one that's actually offshore in Australia called IC Markets as my broker. And there are specific reasons why I use an offshore broker, because it allows me to trade with a little bit more power. So
Okay.
yeah, so
When you
by all
say
means,
power, what do
yeah, I mean, now we go into real trading stuff. The government has made sure that people who are new to trading are protected, right? Are
you? Okay.
protected. So um, it, there's a word in our industry called leverage, and it just means how many times your money gets multiplied in the marketplace. And so the leverage in the UK is very small, but because the government has designed it that way. But if you go outside, you can gain greater leverage, but with less protection for your money. So in the UK, it's smaller leverage, but greater protection for your money. And offshore, it's a higher leverage, but less protection for your money. So I've gone
Mm,
for the leverage rather than the protection. But I go through this when when I'm teaching people. This sometimes
yeah.
this explanation takes 20 minutes or half an hour to get it right, and I'll help people to choose where to place their money, whether in the UK or whether with an offshore with an offshore trader, with an offshore broker.
Mm. So joining your class, that I believe there's a small fee that you would take, you pay to join the class. It's not that.
Yeah, absolutely
Yeah.
right. So it's in the hundreds of
We need
pounds.
to appreciate your knowledge, isn't it? It's not.
And at the end of the day, this is a business, right? It's a business for
Oh
me.
yeah, of course.
There really is a part of me that would love to give this knowledge away for free, but this is
Mm.
not sensible.
Yeah, of course,
It's
of
not
course.
sensible. So over the years that I've taken to gain this knowledge and to hone and craft my skill,
Mm.
in fact, it's really funny. What I charge people for 6 months is the type of money that can be made in one day. Yeah. So,
Wow.
and I'm really serious. So it might sound a lot like, okay, 6 months is going to be, x hundreds of pounds or maybe low thousands, right? But but this type of money can be made in a day on trading. It's like, it sounds like a lot of money, but once you get this skill, you'll realize that, really what I'm just asking for you is a small donation to show your commitment to the learning process. And once it's learned, you make this money fairly easily. You could make this money fairly easily. Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's 8 minutes to 10 o'clock. If you want to see Leon Brown, go on our Facebook, PatMac Radio UK official. Our previous Facebook page was hacked, so we don't have it anymore. So when you go there, you will not see us. That one is PatMac Radio UK. When you go there, you will not see us. But include the official, and you would see Mr. Brown, very handsome man,
I
knowledgeable
thank
man.
you,
You
thank
see, you see. I know, I know, I know. I like you. I love you. You see, so ladies and gentlemen, it is important to join the class. It is important to be among the people who are. So many people talk to me and they are like, "Oh, we want to trade. We want to make some money, another stream of income. How are we going to go around it?" This is the way. This is the way. This is the way. So before I come to your advice, because we are nearly coming to the end of our show. Before I come for advice, you made a statement at the beginning that people shouldn't go into the myth of trading being like flying your own personal jet, you know. But most of the time, when you go online, when you go on YouTube, you go on social media, and people are advertising for these. You know, you see them in flashy cars. You know, some would even be in personal jets, like communicating the idea that when once you get into it, you know, if you do it right, you are going there.
my
So
brother.
how? Why is that a myth?
You are so right, and I'm not saying that these fancy cars and the private jets are a myth. I have a nice car, all right.
I know. I saw the
So
picture.
it's fine. It's these some of these things are true, but people should not get lost in the lie that is Instagram. Instagram is not true. Yeah, Instagram shows small snippets, is curated to make people jealous. I don't go on Instagram to see what other people's successes are. It just like it messes with the head. So what I'm saying to people is, look, yes, you can achieve. Look, trading is a never-ending waterfall of opportunity. The opportunity never stops. You literally
Mm.
have to choose the right time to put your bucket under that waterfall and come out with a bucket full of water, right? And there's skill into the timing of that. But I would say to your listeners that they should not get sucked in with the image of fancy watches, you know, fast cars, private jets, because in really you don't know what people really did to get that. And I think the majority of it is fake on Instagram. Like
Oh, wow.
the large percentage of it.
I'm disappointed.
Yeah, I'm telling you, bro. The large percentage of that money has not been made trading. Not all of it, but a large percentage of that money has not been made trading. It's been made in other ways and represented as trading.
Mm, interesting. So what will be your advice to my listeners? Before we come to where we can find you if you want to join your class, what would be your advice? Those who want to go into trading, the novices, the know-it-all, how will you advise them?
So, brother, do you know one of the reasons I feel so blessed? I feel so blessed because I've been gifted with a skill that I can look at a chart and see the opportunity to make money in lines. I can see it. There's an opportunity to make money there,
Choose.
and
Wait,
it's
wait, 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 please.
yeah,
Please. What you just said, you can look at the lines and
yeah.
see an opportunity to make money.
Every single day, all day. That's what I do. Yeah.
Wow.
I look at the lines and see, well, there's an opportunity. It doesn't guarantee the outcome, but I can say there's an opportunity, and I'm willing to pay to see if that goes the way I want it to. So my message to your listeners is, take it seriously for a year. That's what I would say. Take it seriously for a year. You've got somebody here and others that will show you and will hold your hand, but take it seriously for a year. Commit to the process of the knowledge. And at the end of that, well, I'm very, very sure that for the rest of your life, you will be able to look at a line on a graph and see an opportunity to make money. And that opportunity, it fills me with joy. I'm very glad. On my Facebook page yesterday, I sent out a message to Bitcoin. I sent out a message on Bitcoin saying, hey, look, if you're willing to hold for a period of time, then now's a great time to buy Bitcoin right now. And
Yeah, I had it crashed.
it's plummeted, but the chart tells me that we should find some kind of rally here. We should find some rally here, and so said, so done. Literally, the trade that I no the trade that I put on yesterday, overnight has done 7 or 8% overnight, because you can see the
Wow.
opportunity just to make the money. So, I'd like to share that with people that are serious.
Wow. Ladies and gentlemen, it is the best time. This is a free advice. The best time to buy Bitcoin. You know, the best time to
Sorry,
buy
that's
Bitcoin.
my. Let me just turn off. That's my trading alerts. Apologies. 1 second.
Oh, wow. You see, ladies and gentlemen, you need to roll with the big boys. You know, trading alert, trading alert. He's just giving a free advice. If you are a trader, Bitcoin, hold on, keep holding on. This is free. And remember, you heard it on PatMac Radio UK. You know, ah, we brought the best.
Yeah, great time to buy now, my brother. It's a great time to buy. Of course, I want to say, especially with regards to cryptocurrencies, there is downside potential, which means that even buying now, the price
Mm,
could fall further. That possibility exists. I can see that possibility on the chart. But
okay.
into the future, buying Bitcoin at this level, even if it drops a little bit more, buying Bitcoin at this level, I think into the future will be seen as a very successful trade. You'll make money on where the price is now if you hold it long term into the future.
We are hearing it from the expert. Hold on for a little while.
Hmm.
Mr. Brown, how can we locate you if we
Amazing.
need to talk to you, if we need advice, if you want to join your class? How is your class like? How can we locate you? What is your number? What is your email?
Oh, brother, I really appreciate you. I really appreciate you. You can email me. Let me just make sure I'm good. Yeah, okay. You can email me directly at
Mm,
Leon. You know what? Let me give you this one. You can email me directly at join me, JOINME, join me
mhm.
at lbfx.co.uk. Join me at lbfx.co.uk. Or more simple one, Leon at lbfx.co.uk. Either one of those. Join me or Leon at lbfx.co.uk. And my brother, for anybody who would like to book a consultation, just send me an email directly or go to my website, lbfx.co.uk, and fill out the consultation form there, and I will give you a call back.
Mr. Tino J, you are listening from Stevenage. You said you are getting blessed. And Sister Madeline, where have you been? Where have you been? You love this. And I think she's going to be the first person to call you. They are all enjoying. Yeah. Don't worry. Don't worry. You are not late. Okay, you are listening from Ghana. Interesting. So
Amazing.
yeah, she just sent me a message that she's listening from Ghana and she's one of my loyal listeners. If you want to talk to Mr. Brown, contact me. I would show you the way. Or you can go to his website, lbfx.co.uk. If you want to get access to his book, his ebooks, you can go to his website, lbfx.co.uk /win art trading. I got it right.
That's perfect, brother. You got it.
Yeah. If you want to email him, ladies and gentlemen, you can email him directly on join me at lbfx.co.uk, or you can email Leon at lbfx.co.uk. Ladies and gentlemen, it has been a successful interview. Personally, I have learned a lot. And then we apologize for the technical hitches that came online, but I think I have maintained all my listeners, so I am happy. Thank you so much for staying with us. Ladies and gentlemen, if you need anything, if you need any advice when it comes to trading, Leon Brown is your man.
Yeah.
He is the trading trainer. If you think you know, talk to him. There will be one thing that you would get out of him. You know, he doesn't charge much. He doesn't charge much. Considering what you are going to get out of what you are getting from him. So if you are listening to me and you are interested, place a call, send an email, and then your life will never be the same. I've always said this: the difference between the ordinary person and the extraordinary person is just the word extra. Why? Because the extraordinary person did something extra, spent an extra time, was there for an extra minute, and therefore they achieved the extra. Be an extraordinary person. We are in 2022. Life cannot be like how we lived 2021. Either than that, we'll get the same results as we did in 2021. We cannot live our lives that our forefathers did. We cannot achieve like our forefathers. We must be better. Either than that, we may, I don't know if you believe it or not, but we may meet them one day and then they will be disappointed in our lives. Whatever we do, we have the fun, chill, work, but make sure you are achieving the best in life. If you are trading, trade well. If you are trading, check to see if you are protected. Speak to the right people. Speak to the experts. Mr. Leon Brown is an expert in this field. Contact him. Link up with him. I am there. I am going to talk after the show. I'm going to book my place. You see? So obviously, when you see me one day, as I am achieving, as I am going forward, know that these are some of the things personally I have done. Ladies and gentlemen, this is PatMac Radio UK. My name is Patrick, and you are on the life train. It's been a pleasure serving you. I've been offline for a while because there was some few things going on, some few challenges, some personal challenges that were going on. But thank you for staying with me, and then thank you for your encouragement. All those who texted me to encourage me, thank you so much. Thank you so much. My fatherly duties have expanded. So now I say it with pride that my fatherly duties have expanded. So thank you so much for staying with me, my loyalness, and then thank you so much for being there for me. This is where I bring the show to an end. Next week we're gonna be with you. We're gonna be with you. That another powerful show come your way again next week. Join us, and then your life will never be the same. Ladies and gentlemen, as I've always said, my name is Patrick. You are on PatMac Radio UK, and this is Live Train. We've been speaking to Mr. Leon Brown. If you need him, contact me. Go on his website, and then your life will never be the same. Thank you for joining me, and God bless you.